Ladies and gentlemen, our listeners and our viewers, thank you for having us here. I am your host, Nancy Marvelous, and with me, I have an amazing guest with me, Dr. Simeon. Please, can you please introduce yourself to us and where
Thank,
you're from?
thank you, viewers. My name is Ambassador Dr. Simeon Kevin Chuku,
Right.
the CEO of Crystal Garden Estate.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for being here with us
Thank you.
today. Right. So we'd have a few questions to ask you. How was your journey here, first of all?
Great.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
So
you.
we have a few questions for you as regards the real estate sector because we've heard your name, Crystal Garden Estate. So we already know it's something we listen to the real estate.
Sure.
All right. So would love to ask you a few questions and we hope you'd be. So one of the questions I'd like to ask with the inflation thing going on now, you think inflation affects the real estate sector?
Yeah, the inflation eats deep to every sector,
Oh,
but it will amaze you that real estate is exception.
wow.
Yeah, because if you want to conserve, you want to retain, you want to maintain your resources, your money, the best place to put it is in real estate.
Mm.
The moment you put your money in real estate, it has retained its value,
Right.
and that value that is retained cannot be crushed by inflation.
Mm.
Why? Because real estate grows, it appreciates. That
Okay.
appreciation value
Yeah.
is what makes, in fact, it beats the inflation.
Right.
So right now, as in Nigeria, I think inflation is over 35%. And that means when you put your money in the bank, after 1 year, it has lost 35% of its value.
Depreciated.
Although you still have the quantity, but the quality has reduced.
Wow.
But in real estate cannot be affected by inflation. The moment you buy property, that money is retained, is conserved, and not just that, it keeps appreciating in value.
Right. So thank you, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us, our audience and our viewers. Hope you're getting something today because this is going to be informational, educational, and everything you think of. Please, if you're with your popcorns, if you're with your anything to chew while we're at it, please do that and get your bottle of champagnes ready. Sip them a little bit while we go ahead. All right. So I would like to ask. Some people talk about renting, some people talk about buying real estate, some people talk about renting their properties and all of that. Do you think any of them is a better choice or it is a smarter choice or is it just individual differences?
Yeah, individual differences, because one, some people are tenants by choice, while some
Some
are
are by
tenants
force.
by force. In other words, if you don't have the means, if you are just like you are a tenant because you don't know what else to do, okay, you can't afford building your own house. That means you are a tenant by force. But some people who understand money management
Right.
can actually be a tenant by choice. What I mean by that is, instead of me to build a duplex, for instance, that would cost me between 80 and 100 million naira.
Yeah.
And when I own that house, or I live in that house will continue to take money from me
You.
for maintenance and all of that. Then I would rather take maybe between if it is 100 million, for instance, and I
Yeah.
take 90 million and
Right.
invest in real estate,
Okay.
and I take 10 million and pay for 2 years in the same duplex, right? And in the course of 10 years, that I would have paid 50 million naira, right? In the course of 10 years, I would have paid 50 million naira by 5 million. And in the course of 10 years, that my 90 million that I've invested, you can't imagine it. It could give you, because we have seen properties that rose between, that was 1.5 million naira was used to purchase that property. In 10 years' time, it was being priced 90 million. So can you imagine you take 90 million and break it into 1.5 million? And then how many percent is that? 1.5 to 90 million. We have seen 1 million grow to 100 million in 10 years. So what it means is, when I put this 90 million in an investment in a properties, and then I'm living in a rented apartment, then I'm a tenant by choice, and then I'm growing my money. So at the end of 10 years, I will just take a little fraction of what I've made and build my house, while I still have a lot to continue to play around in the market.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for breaking this down to the lowest minimum that we can have. All right. We've been hearing about land banking. Is there anything you may want to tell us about land banking? Explain to us what land banking is, or how it works in Crystal Garden Estate.
Land banking is is just a statement people developed. Instead of banking in the bank, you bank on land, right? And what it means is, you look at a location where the population is heading towards, and you go wait for them. You go buy and wait for them. So I usually put it this way, that you have to project from where you are, project where development is going to get to in the next 10 to 20 years, and go ahead of the people to wait for them. So when they arrive, because you're already there, you're taking your space and you have occupied. When people arrive and meet you there, you are the landlord. You determine who lives and who does not, right? So that's what land banking means. Land banking is, you buy a place that is still developing, and wait for development to meet it. So and it's always very good, because I always say that today is expensive, tomorrow is cheap.
Right.
What it means is, if you are looking for a developed area to buy, you will pay a premium for it, is because it's already expensive. But if you are buying the future, if you are buying tomorrow, if you are buying a developing area, that development is going to get to maybe probably 10, 15, 20 years, you're going to pick it for peanuts today. So tomorrow is cheap, but today is expensive. And by the way, where you think that is a village today, because yesterday's village is today's city. So tomorrow's village will be tomorrow's village will become a city one day. So what it means is, when you invest, when you buy those places, you wait, and your money, it will quadruple, it will continue to jump. You cannot determine how fast it can grow. So that's what it means to bank in lands.
Okay. So thank you for that. Is there anything to know that, this place is going to be developing anytime, maybe in 10 years, in 5 years, in 15 years? Is there any specificity of anything?
Now, let me give you one technology to use to identify that.
Okay.
When you get to any city at all over the world, right? You, from that city, and you can drive 30 minutes to any direction. Right? 15 years down the line, wherever you got to will merge with the city. You can. It's a technology that always works. So what it means is, wherever you are today, in the middle of that city, wherever you can drive to, right? 30 minutes, you can drive to 30 minutes. 15 years later, that place where you were will merge with that place. Yes, it always works that way.
This is something very deep that I've really not thought about before.
And then you have to also consider the interests, people's interests, business interests, government interests. These are three ways to identify where development is heading to. So what is the government's interest in that environment? And you can't tell me you don't know, because every city is planned. Okay, in any city you are, if you search very well, you discover that the government had already planned. Some government have like 50 years plans, 20 years plan over that city. So if you're able to lay hand on those documents,
and
you'll be able to know that this,
exactly
yeah, of course, yeah. And then the business interest. What is there any market that is cited or going to be cited in that location? Is going to boom, is going to boost the environment. And then people's interest. Of course, the first and second interest drives people's interest. Once you see that government interest is in a particular location or business interest like school, markets, then people's interest must be driven towards that. Yeah.
Right. So thank you so much. Thank you, our listeners and our audience, our viewers, for joining and staying with us. I'm sure you're still with your popcorns and they're not finished yet. Just keep at it while we're at what we're saying, and please listen attentively and get all the value, all the information you need to get. Thank you again from Crystal Garden Estate for being here with us.
Thank you.
All right. So moving on, I would like to know: is there any particular time that is the right time for buyers or people who are the first time buyers to buy land or buy property?
There is no part. In fact, I usually somebody said the best time to invest is 20 years ago. Another best time to invest is now.
Right.
So if you are looking for the best time is now. Because you can't be waiting and keep waiting. There is nothing like a future. The future begins now. Whatever you do today is what determines how your tomorrow will turn out. But if you're just hoping that your tomorrow will be better and you're not doing something, worthwhile today, you just arrive at that tomorrow and still meet it empty. So the best time to take that move is now. The best time to make that investment is now, right? So your own responsibility is to ensure that you're putting your money in the right place. You have to ensure that there is security, there's ownership is guaranteed, because it's not just about buying land. A lot of people have bought and they couldn't take possession. So you have to ensure that you are investing in a place where you have your security and ownership and control. Because
you don't have issues with village people.
Oh no,
lots of people they've had issues with village people in the past.
Exactly. And every rich man is concerned about security and control. Once these two things are
order,
the move can be made.
Right. So are there mistakes, costly mistakes first time buyers make? Maybe a few of them you can let us know so that
Warren Buffett said, be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful.
Okay.
A lot of times the average people make moves when the moves have been made and concluded. Because that's when it becomes popular. At that time that it's popular, that's when the average people or the poor people move. But who are those? Every time you're buying, somebody is selling. Every time you're buying something, somebody is selling. And every time you're selling something, somebody is buying. So at the time you're buying, who is selling? Those people that are selling, when did they buy?
That's another thing.
You have to consider this and ensure that before you make the move, right? You have to consider in order not to make mistakes, is it popular? Are you buying into popularity? Or are you buying something because of certainty? Because of your due diligence? You because of your conviction? Or you're buying because everybody else is buying? Right? So when people make investment because everybody is trooping, they make a lot of mistakes. But as a first time buyer, you have to ensure, do your due diligence, be certain about what you are buying, that you are buying into the right location, into the right property and all of that, and more so the company from which you are buying. Because you have to check antecedents. You have to check how durable, how the longevity, because somebody who's been in business for 10 years, you should know that the person is not thinking, is not hit and run.
No.
But this new entrance, some people are entering because they heard that you can make money in real estate, and they jump in. The moment they hit the roadblocks, they scatter, they just back out because there was no conviction in the first place. Their motivation is money. And when your motivation is money, your intent is wrong. Right? So you have to check that these people, this company you're buying, is it the right one? And if you're buying from community or from individual, you have to be wary of that also, because it also has its own, disadvantages. Exactly.
That's amazing.
But if you buy from an estate, you're actually buying a security, because the estate ensures the security of your property.
Okay. Thank you for staying with us. Please do not touch that dial. And as we move on in the next segment of questions, we'll be glad to really have you stay with us. Okay. So moving on, sir, how long has Crystal Garden Estate been in existence?
This is 10 years of operation. Yeah.
Wow.
Crystal Garden Estate started operation 15th August 2015. So that's...
And a child that is 10 years obviously has known a lot of things.
Exactly.
Had different experiences.
Different, and that's what guarantees growth. Experiences, you don't buy it from the market. It's something you have to achieve. Yeah. So that experience, it's the wealth of knowledge. It's the wealth that anybody can boast about. See, I would rather invest in companies that have stayed long enough, because I know that they have understood.
They've also gained ground.
They have made their mistakes and they have learned their
exactly, and all of that. Right. So, what are key features that make Crystal Garden Estate stand out from other developments?
Well, I would say, because you see, there are a lot of people doing great things out there. Okay, there are a lot of real estate companies who are doing their best, and we encourage that, because you see, in the industry, is a huge industry, and one person cannot do it. We have, according to United Nations, Nigeria is having a housing deficit of about 22 million.
That's
and this is something that one company cannot solve. So I do not look at other real estate companies as competitors. I see everyone as we complement one another, because all of us are bringing solutions to the table. So I wouldn't come and say, hey, we are unique, we are the best, we are this and that. No, what I would rather say is that in our own sphere, we are, number one, putting the customers first. Everything we do, we are customer centric. We are ensuring that our customers, will invest and go sleep with their two eyes closed, knowing that we've got their backs.
They are relaxed.
Yeah, they are relaxed.
They have peace of mind.
Exactly, and that's what we have. You said
violence and their war.
We do not sell just a piece of land. We sell peace of mind.
Come on now. This is amazing. Thank you for being here. You're listening to us, our viewers. Thank you for staying. I hope you're getting something today. Right? We're learning more about Crystal Garden Estate, learning about real estate, and this is a good time to really invest. People that have been there for 10 years, they're not babies anymore. Okay. All right. So is there a process of acquiring property in Crystal Garden Estate? Are there processes or anything people need to do?
Yeah, the first thing to do is, we usually encourage that before you pay for something, you've got to see it. Okay, you don't just buy a pseudo land. You don't know where it is. So first is site inspection, and our site inspection is free, of course. And once you've seen and you like the environment, then the next thing is to go make your payment. And we have options. You can make outright payments, or you can pay in installment.
Okay, there are payment plans.
Payment options. Exactly. But then when you make outright payment, there are incentives that come with it to say thank you. But when you can as well make, have options of installment payment up to 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1 year, 6
because this
months.
is what I needed us to explain to them, like knowing if it's 3 months, if we have other options, not just maybe just one installmental option.
Yeah,
That's amazing because it's giving you the leverage of different options. It's not just
exactly.
one option, it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, maybe 1 year, as the case may
1 year,
be.
18 months, which
One
is
year,
1 year,
18
6
months.
months.
That's something massive.
Yeah,
That's something beautiful. Because I know some other people may not want it to do installmental payments, but they are giving us the privilege of installmental payment. Just in case you're saying, "Oh, I don't have this money complete today, and I'm okay. I just have 500,000, and it's something to start with."
exactly. And one magic thing about projects is that the moment you put your first step forward, everything begins to align.
Align to it.
Yeah. So I usually say to people, do not wait for the Red Sea to part before
Don't
you cross.
wait.
Step into it and it will part.
Yes. Yes.
It has always happened that way.
Right.
But if you keep waiting until the weather is cleared, you will never be able.
You may wait forever.
Yeah, you will never step out. So step out with the little you have, and you see that everything, the forces of life, comes to the assistance of someone who is on the move.
Okay. Thank you so much. So you've got to invest now. Don't wait. If it's the Red Sea you want to part, you're stepping into it, right into it. You will not wait for it to part for you, or the weather to be clear, the coast to be clear before anything happens. All right. So what are the titles you have in this estate?
We have we usually, the first thing we offer is deed of conveyance. Deed of conveyance, and some of our sites have registered surveyor.
Right.
Some have CFO, and those that don't have, we keep pushing for them, because one of the guarantees we give to people is that wherever you own today, just relax. Every documentation that needs to be done with the government will be perfected with time.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you for answering that question. Are there pricing structures for properties? Oh, you've answered that. The flexible plans. I think that's what will make sense. What other development fee or other associated charges? Are there other charges or development fees that you need to?
We take that burden off our customers. Like I said, our number one goal while we're in business is the customer, is to satisfy the customer. So we bring in professionalism, integrity, and all of that, customer satisfaction. Everything is geared towards making that customer comfortable. So once you make your payment, you are not paying any other thing. We take off, trying to settle the youth. There's what they call killing of cows or killing of goats or whatever it is. Settling the youth, settling the community, we take that burden off you. So once you make payment, the next thing that is left for you is to go start developing your property. Yeah. And in some of our sites where people have already built and lived, they can testify that there is no such any kind of disturbance at all from the community or youth or stuff like that. We said to them, and that promise, it comes with a lot of costs. The promise we made many times, it hooks us.
Yes, sir.
But because we have already made that promise, we have to stick to it. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, our viewers. Thank you, our listeners, for staying with us. You're definitely enjoying this session. Okay. So moving on, I would like to know, I know there are realtors. So what are ways realtors earn through in this estate?
Every realtor that joins us, they are made to earn as they help us to market, because realtors are independent marketers. So what it means is you talk to your people, the people that know you, because real estate is a high ticket business, and it is based on trust. So when you advertise and then you get buyers, we pay you 10%, right? So, and there are other structures that they have to earn. They earn first generation 5%, second generation 3%, and a lot of people are making.
That's like 3 generations.
Yeah, The direct sales is 10%.
Okay.
Then first generation
Just
sale is
5%.
5%. Second generation sale is 3%.
Wow.
So we pay something like that. And a lot of people in our system earn more than $1 million every single week. Just doing
mind-blowing.
this, I'm telling you.
Just
And it's a
being a
side
realtor.
hustle. Side hustle. You don't have to
To
quit
do
your
it
job.
every day.
Yeah.
So our viewers and our listeners, you've heard it. When you buy land from these people, they're not just giving you a piece of land, they're giving you peace
Of mind.
Peace of mind. You're going to go and sleep. Be rest assured and relax that nothing is happening. Okay, nothing is going wrong, And you've heard their titles, you've heard other payments options, payments plans, and I encourage you to please make sure you attend and you buy from these people. So let's hear where the address of this place is in case we want to purchase.
You can contact us on our phone number 08036584214. Again, 08036584214. Or you can come to our office at Pacific Complex, second floor, Oka Road, Onitsha, by ABS Junction. Or you come to number 65, New Market Road, the building where Konga is. You can come there also and you meet with us.
Thank you, Dr. Simeon, for being with us today. It was a pleasure having to be with you, and these sessions, you broke down a lot of things for us. Thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.
And I'm your favorite host, Nancy Marvelous. Thank you for being there. Do not touch the dial.